Hello YouTube, I'm back with the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Review, and today I'm reviewing, as I kind of said I was going to do, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Beyond Time movie. I've got the DVD right here, as well. I have to say, this is definitely, it may not be quite as good as Pyramid of Light, but I would say it is still a pretty decent movie. I mean, it was only about 50 minutes long, a little less than an hour. And it was kind of interesting the way they brought three different protagonists from the series, from all three series, Yu-Gi-Oh!, GX, and 5Ds, all came together at once, and they even brought some back the ones from other characters from the original series. They kind of still got to interact with each other. You got a nice little trip to the past where Paradox was involved. Paradox was also a nice villain as well, basically corrupting the main antagonists like Synchro Monsters. I mean, Stardust Dragon got taken over, Rainbow Dragon got taken over. Although, we never see Jesse Anderson anywhere in the film, as far as I know. What's surprising to me is, like, the usual censorship that's usually involved with this. You know, with the Dark Magician Girl and Akiza especially. Akiza's in 5Ds. Dark Magician Girl always censored completely. They were not censored in this film. And this was the dubbed version. So it's kind of like, okay, did they actually get more lenient towards censorship, or was that a mistake they forgot to do, or they just didn't even bother? It's like, why stop now? Although, why stop now when you've done it for 5 seasons? I mean, seriously, every time. I mean, the only time, like, My Valentine was never censored in the English dub for the first season of the show, but after that, she was always censored, and usually pretty heavily, too. And Akiza, every single time she appeared, she was always censored in some form or another, with her outfit. Mostly her outfit was mostly the reason why she got censored in the first place. Dark Magician Girl always had her pentagrams changed to a jewel, whatever you want to call it. I mean, even the card art got censored there. But yeah, definitely, this was, for 50 minutes, it's a pretty decent movie. I mean, it's nice seeing the three characters, how they interact with each other. They even got to take part in a sort of battle royale mode, like the Battle City Finals determining duel. But it was 3-on-1. But it kind of would have been interesting to see how they would react to seeing Synchro Monsters the first time, because obviously Jaden and Yugi never saw a Synchro Monster before this point. I don't remember. They might have actually had some remark against it, like, you know, like, wow, Synchro Monster, is that? I mean, but yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see them interact with each other. I mean, it's kind of too bad the first duel that you see towards the beginning of the movie got cut short. Didn't really get to see a whole lot of it. And yeah, of course, they take down Paradox, but Paradox is probably more interesting than Aigami, as I've said regarding the Dark Side of Dimensions, although that movie actually goes back to sort of following the Pyramid of Light movie, where they're back to having text. This one thing this movie did not have was it didn't follow the Pyramid of Light's showing of card text and all that. They were back to being the dubbed anime version, which is weird. It's kind of a little inconsistent. It's like, why go back to the dub cards if you're not even going to bother to censor the stuff that's usually censored in the dub? I mean, especially considering that you go right back to allowing it for, you know, you go back to having the card game format with the actual Dark Side of Dimensions movie. It does not make any sense to me. But definitely, if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, go get this film. I watched it. I had a good time with it. It was not as good as Pyramid of Light. I think Pyramid of Light actually had a lot more going on. They had more. But heck, even they managed to tackle, I mean, whole time travel. That was pretty cool, watching Paradox come in and kind of mess things up. But he was a whole lot better. And you get to see an interaction from three characters that never met before. I mean, the way they interacted upon meeting, that was believable to me. I mean, the whole story was pretty believable to me. I mean, I would definitely recommend this. I mean, granted, especially if you're a fan of Paradox and his Malefic Monsters, you'll get one with the DVD. Not if you buy it on Amazon though, because Malefic Red Eyes B Dragon is not in this DVD if you buy it on Amazon.com. They never generally have the promo card. I should know. This was actually sealed before I started this review, and then I opened it just kind of to see whether it came with it or not. Kind of confirming rumors or not, but it does not, and that's been true. And so if you buy it on Amazon, anything you buy from Amazon that claims to have a card, it will not, more than likely. I voted for them before. They did not come with the card. Not that that's particularly important. I mean, the most important part of it is getting the product itself. Here's the back of the DVD, just in case you were ever curious. So, definitely worthwhile. It's 50. It's kind of short. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a bit. Is it longer or shorter than Pyramid of Light? It might be. I think it's shorter than Pyramid of Light, actually. But still, relatively decent movie. I'd recommend it. I mean, you got a nice villain. It's always nice to see the characters interact with each other, especially three that have never met before. I mean, that whole thing was believable. It's nice to see Pegasus back. I mean, granted, he did have the Millennium Eye, but, I mean, you can't really fault him for that. I mean, considering the fact they didn't do a whole lot of consistency with dub edits, why not? Just give him the Millennium Eye back. I mean, yeah, it may seem a little odd that he has the Millennium Eye back. In fact, Bakura took it away from him way back at Duelist Kingdom after he lost that. But it's also nice. You get to see a lot of cards that were previously released, as well as the cards that got released from the movie. So, like that Junk monster that gets played. It's not Junk Archer. It's like Junk Defender or something like that Yusei ends up playing. I mean, a lot of the cards appeared there. You never really see the last card he ends up drawing, as far as I know. But it doesn't matter. He ends up winning anyway. The Malefics are a lot more powerful than they are in the card game, obviously, but it's kind of cool to see them in the anime, see how they worked. They're a lot easier to summon, too, in the anime. I mean, for us, they're pretty well worthless. I mean, they're not even, they're really not even worth it. As far as I know, I've not seen really anyone legitimately make a deck out of them. I saw one player, but I don't think it was not going to do very well. Because, I mean, you're going to have a bunch of dead draws in your hand. Because if you can't, you have to have them from the extra deck. And you have to waste your extra deck space to bring them out. And you're not bringing them back later. So, that's my review on the Bonds Beyond Time. Or if you're in, if you prefer 3D Bonds Beyond Time, really not much of a difference, really. The movie, thanks for watching.